The Phenomenal Women's Award empowers women, teaches all to strive for their goals, and to be proactive in the world. Many people in the Los Angeles area came to their local polling stations to vote in the 2016 election and to make their mark on history. Only 5 states have eliminated the tax on feminine products. We're here talking about the legalization of marijuana and Prop 64. Thank you so much for being here today.
Dana, it's a pleasure.
Every month, women are required to resupply their stock of feminine hygiene products. Annie Lasco, co-founder of Conscious Period, who sells organic tampons, says tampon tax is a human rights outrage.
A state-by-state tax that taxes menstrual products as if they're non-necessary goods or luxury items.
Assemblywoman Cristina Garcia proposed a bill to ban the tax on feminine hygiene products. In most stores, products range from $5 to $10, depending on the brand and the quality. Governor Jerry Brown vetoed the bill last week because he said the bill and many others would create a tax break that would result in the loss of $300 million in revenue. What was your reaction when you heard that Governor Jerry Brown vetoed the bill?
No, I was pretty disappointed. Usually California is leading the way. I was hoping they were going to continue to lead the way. So it was disappointing to see us take a step backwards after we had not only worked on this for so long, but we had inspired so many other states to follow our lead.
The bill had over 30 supporters in California, such as Planned Parenthood, Walmart, and Target. Some of the opposition included the League of California Cities and the California State Association of Counties. Only 5 states have eliminated the tax on feminine products. With the veto, women will continue to pay, and that will be an estimated $90 a year. In Northridge, Dana Lights, Valley View News. The 2016 election was a roller coaster. Presidential candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton fought till the end. Many voters in the Los Angeles area participated not only in choosing the next president, but what laws should be passed in California. Burbank resident Margarita Garahan says voting encompasses more than who becomes president.
I think that voting in any election, whether presidential, statewide, or local, for municipalities or county elections, all are important.
There was a total of 17 measures on the ballot. Some propositions included education funds, gun control, death penalty, and marijuana legalization.
Honestly, I think a lot of them are important. Maybe a few stand out, like some that you may have heard in commercials and other things as such.
Kindergarten teacher Stephanie Carrillo talks about Prop 51.
Well, we pay for a lot of our school everything, all of our school supplies, salaries, so there's a lot of money that we would like to get and see for the kids and for ourselves.
Many people in the Los Angeles area came to their local polling stations to vote in the 2016 election and to make their mark on history. In Burbank, California, Dana Lights, Valley View News. The 12th Phenomenal Woman Award celebrated women who've made strides in their careers and are activists who are trying to change the world one step at a time. CSUN honored 4 women for their contributions to society.
The people being honored today and the hosts, male and female, believe in exceptional, professional, and philanthropic performance.
Along with the awards, the Gender Women's Studies Department had a silent auction. The recipients of the event included an actress, muralist, attorney, and food justice organizer. CSUN faculty presented the awards to the women, then each speaker talked about the projects they've worked on in their lifetime.
It is women honoring other women, and it is women who study women and gender, and therefore it's even more important because these are women who really know what's out there and what's going on.
The Phenomenal Woman Award empowers women, teaches all to strive for their goals, and to be proactive in the world. In Northridge, Dana Lights, Valley View News. I'm here with Professor Nicholas Dungy from the CSUN Political Science Department, and we're here talking about the legalization of marijuana and Prop 64. Thank you so much for being here today.
Dana, it's a pleasure.
California said yes on legalizing marijuana. Do you think this is a good idea?
I think it's an extraordinarily good idea. Absolutely, for many reasons, for economic, legal, political, social reasons. It's an excellent decision.
And so now that Prop 64 has passed, what does this mean for California?
Well, California is under much pressure from the federal government to reduce its prison population. Now, I don't have the exact numbers on me, but I can imagine that a significant number of people currently involved in the state penitentiary system or the criminal process system are there for nonviolent drug offense charges. So this could have an immediate impact on that, and that's a very, very important issue right now. And of course, it could have extraordinary social implications, because whenever you decriminalize an activity, you fundamentally alter and change the way people behave, the way the social relationships are organized, and I think that is incredibly important to do that.
And so what do you think this will do for the economy in the short term and the long term?
In the short term, it's impossible to say, and we will not know for at least 2 or 3 years. Colorado went through this a couple of years ago, and they are just now starting to get a handle on the economic benefits, the economic costs.
In 2010, California had on the ballot to legalize marijuana, and they said no.
Yeah.
Why do you think people had a change in heart in 2016?
I think these things move rather slowly. I think, if I recall correctly, in 2010 it was close. I don't recall the exact number, but I think it was close. So we came close in 2010. And nowadays, 6 years is really not a lot of time, I guess, the way things move so rapidly, the way social opinions about all sorts of things, legalizing marijuana, all sorts of other things that used to be, socially and politically marginalized or questioned. And also, too, I think that several other states, namely Colorado, did it. And Californians have been watching very closely what has happened in Colorado. And it seems to be fairly positive so far.
And so after the elections, now having 8 states legalizing cannabis, do you think this will start a trend and more states will follow suit?
Well, as we were talking off camera, I think if it does start a trend, it will only start a trend in already liberal-oriented states. Many states who are conservative might look at this and say, oh my goodness, we don't want to do that. But it will probably add emphasis to liberal-leaning states who are already thinking about it. But in states in the Midwest and the Southeast, where you have very conservative voters and you have very conservative social norms and ideas about drugs, whether it's pot or even alcohol, things like that, probably slower to adopt it.
Okay. And what could be the negative effects of having this prop pass?
The negative effects, I would imagine, are the difficulties creating the proper mechanisms to regulate it and identify its improper use. It will be treated like alcohol. You can't smoke pot in public places. You shouldn't smoke pot and drive your car. It's sort of like alcohol. The same legal prohibitions that govern alcohol govern marijuana. So that's the first thing to know. And second, creating mechanisms to determine when those conditions have been violated, what the penalties ought to be. All of that, I think, will be the most challenging part of it and may create the more complicating elements of that.
Well, thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Said.
Nice to be here.
And now back to you in the studio.